Most gardens slowly get weaker over time. The first year feels exciting because everything is new. The second year is often the best because the gardener has learned from early mistakes and the soil still has plenty to give. But by year 3 and 4, something changes. The same plants produce a little less. Pests show up earlier. The soil dries out faster. Disease becomes harder to control. And suddenly the gardener is buying more compost, more fertilizer, and more products just to maintain the same harvests they used to get naturally. That pattern is so common most people assume it is normal. But some gardens follow the exact opposite path. Every year they become richer, healthier, easier to maintain, and more productive than the season before. Water lasts longer in the soil, pest pressure decreases, harvests increase from the exact same amount of space, and the gardener often spends less money and less effort every season instead of more. The difference is not climate, luck, or expensive products. It is whether the garden is designed as an extractive system or a regenerative one. Extractive gardens constantly remove fertility faster than they rebuild it. Regenerative gardens recycle nutrients, protect soil biology, and improve themselves continuously over time. I have seen this happen directly in my own raised beds. My first year, I harvested about 26 pounds of food. Second year, 34 pounds. Third year, 47 pounds from the exact same beds with less money spent and less maintenance required. In this video, I am going to show you the 5 reasons some small gardens become more productive every single year, why small spaces actually accelerate this process, and how to make your own garden compound instead of decline. Reason 1 is soil biology. Most gardeners think fertility mainly comes from fertilizer, but productive gardens are driven much more by living soil systems. Healthy soil is full of fungi, bacteria, worms, and microorganisms constantly breaking down organic matter, moving nutrients, improving structure, and storing water underground. The problem is that many gardens destroy this biology every single season. Bare soil overheats and dries out. Tilling tears apart fungal networks. Heavy synthetic feeding creates fast growth but weak long-term structure. Regenerative gardens work differently. Compost stays on the surface. Mulch protects moisture and slowly feeds biology as it breaks down. Roots remain in the soil longer throughout the year. Cover crops prevent microbial collapse during winter, and over time the soil becomes increasingly stable and biologically active instead of resetting every spring. By my third season, the soil in my raised beds was visibly darker, softer, and filled with earthworms compared to year 1. Water lasted dramatically longer after rain or irrigation because the organic matter and fungal structure had matured enough to hold moisture internally. The less I disturbed the system, the more productive it became. Reason 2 is that productive small gardens stop wasting space. Most gardens lose huge amounts of production potential without realizing it. Crops spread horizontally while vertical space above them sits empty. Beds remain unused between planting cycles. Large sections produce for only a few weeks before fading out. Productive gardens layer output instead. Tomatoes climb upward instead of sprawling outward. Pole beans turn empty air into food production. Greens grow underneath taller crops where partial shade protects them from summer heat. Succession planting keeps beds active continuously instead of seasonally. Spring lettuce transitions into summer beans. Summer beans transition into fall spinach. The same square foot produces multiple waves of food instead of a single short harvest cycle. And over time, the gardener learns the timing patterns of the system itself. Crop transitions become smoother. Empty gaps shrink, harvest windows overlap better. The garden starts behaving less like random plants growing beside each other and more like a coordinated food production system. Reason 3 is local adaptation. Every season, the garden quietly becomes more compatible with your exact conditions. Seeds saved from your healthiest plants gradually adapt to your climate, soil, pests, and watering patterns. Perennials establish deeper root systems and become more resilient every year. Beneficial insect populations stabilize because habitat remains in place permanently instead of temporarily. Even compost improves because it is built from local materials feeding local biology. Mature gardens often handle stress dramatically better than new gardens because the system itself has adapted over time. I noticed this most during summer heat waves. My first year beds dried rapidly and plants wilted by afternoon. By year three, mulch, improved soil structure, deeper roots, and stronger biology created far more stability even during identical temperatures. The system had evolved to function better under my specific conditions. Reason four is that regenerative gardens reduce dependency instead of increasing it. Many gardens become more dependent on purchased inputs every season because fertility constantly leaves the property faster than it returns. Soil structure weakens, organic matter drops, water evaporates faster, productive gardens move in the opposite direction, compost systems begin supplying most fertility internally, leaves, grass clippings, and chopped plant material become mulch, cover crops generate nitrogen naturally, seeds are saved instead of purchased repeatedly. Perennials return automatically every spring without replanting. Over time, the garden becomes cheaper to maintain because the system itself produces many of the resources it needs. My first season required constant outside purchases. By year three, most of the fertility, mulch, and seeds were already coming from the garden itself or from free waste streams around the property. The garden stopped operating like a consumer system and started acting more like an ecosystem. And finally, the fifth reason small gardens improve every year is because consistency compounds faster in compact spaces. Large gardens are difficult to manage evenly. Some sections get neglected. Watering becomes inconsistent. Soil improvement gets spread thin across too much area. But small gardens allow extremely high management quality per square foot. Problems get noticed early. Harvesting stays regular. Compost can be applied deeply instead of thinly. Dense planting shades soil naturally and protects moisture. Every improvement affects a larger percentage of the entire system because the space is concentrated. And over time, those small improvements stack on top of each other. Slightly better soil, slightly stronger seed genetics, slightly earlier succession planting, slightly deeper mulch, slightly more established perennial systems. Individually, each improvement feels small. Together, they compound into a garden that becomes dramatically more productive than it was during year one without expanding the footprint at all. That is the hidden advantage of small regenerative gardens. They are not static spaces, they are living systems capable of improving continuously every season. And once that compounding process starts, the garden stops feeling like something you constantly struggle to maintain and starts behaving like a system that increasingly works with you instead of against you.